All right, everybody still awake? All right, great. I know we're all excited to be here, hopefully. I know a lot of you wanted to start getting to the networking piece, get a couple drinks in you, so I promise you I'm not going to take a lot of your time today, especially since Capone already took a lot of the buzzwords that we hear, the garbage in, garbage out, data quality, AI. I think he's already taken it all, so I won't bore you with that a lot today, but I am going to still talk about it, right? And then what I'm going to do here, as Mike pointed out, head of sales and customer success, I'm even doing a demo. So you don't see my essay here, you don't see my SC, I'm going to do it myself because I'm going to show you how easy it is to leverage Qlik's AI. And regardless of what work you do today, if you're an executive, if you're a data engineer, how you can leverage it in your company and your job today. All right? So let's start off with the dilemma that we already know. Again, we all know what's the problem with AI. Well, we all want to start it, we all want to do it, but we know it goes back to the thing, and I think Mike mentioned it too, garbage in, garbage out, right? If you don't have the right data, if your data is not correct, how do you know that the AI that you're utilizing and leveraging is giving you the right response? And so we know the dilemma. So what do we do to fix it? So a cool thing, and this is a plug that I'm going to put in, Qlik and Pingahla had, we hosted a New York meetup event. So for the folks here in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, if you're available, please sign up to the meetup. Great place to network. We were at Slate. And we had one of our customers and speakers, Tim Wong with Visa. And we also talked about AI and data quality, right? And obviously, we had a couple jokes about the Terminators are coming and whatnot, right? But we know that's a far way to happen because, again, it goes back to the data quality. And I asked two questions. I asked everybody, I said, listen, is everybody talking about or looking to start an AI initiative? Everybody raised their hand. We're like this. Okay, I get it, yeah. And the second question I asked everyone is like, listen, the data that you're utilizing in your organization today, do you trust it? And if so, would you put your life on the line for that data? Nobody raised their hands like this. Anybody want to put their life on the line for the company data? I doubt it, right? You don't want to do it. We know that the data within our organization is not 100% correct. But I think Mike was talking about some customer having a 100%, I've never seen that, or if it is, it's smoke and mirrors, right? So we know that it's not there, but we know every organization wants to get there, and they want to know what's wrong so that they can take the actions, right? So that was a kind of a great topic we talked about, and we were able to network and understand what is everybody doing to make their data better. And if you look at the landscape of AI today, right, and we look at, all right, what's going on, what are the major use cases, what are we utilizing AI, it kind of spans everything, right? Whether it's more on that customer service and support, to streamlining, how can I make better decisions in my organization? I mean, we know it's there. We know that there's tremendous use cases we can help our organization. But again, I'm going to harp on it again. Trusted data. We need that right data. And if you look at use cases, and I can hit you with so many use cases around what is going on, companies like Tesla and how they, when they first came out with their cars and the automatic driving, the amount of failures and the amount of investments that they put in because of the wrong data. And once they were able to get their IoT right and correct, they saw the autonomous driving getting better and better. And we see that as the data gets better, your AI gets better. So making that investment with AI is important. So again, what do we need moving forward? Obviously, we need that data quality, correct? But again, I look at it as more of that 6 pillars, right? Understanding, discovering that data, standardizing, consolidating, monitoring that data, and ultimately operationalize that, but continuing it, getting better and better. It's like that Energizer Bunny, if you guys remember that old commercial, somebody just hitting his drum, going on and on. We still need to do that. It's not a one-time fix with data. We know that, right? And I think a lot of you who've been in IT, you've seen something like this. You know this. This is your standard SDLC, right? What's going on, how we need to look at what we're doing and making sure that we're not going to be affected with any failures within our AI processes. And so what I want to showcase and talk to you about today, how Qlik's Talent Data Fabric and Qlik Answers, along with our solution, PDQA, is kind of turbocharging that AI process within Qlik. So I'm going to show you guys that. Again, I am not that technical, so fingers crossed that nothing happens bad. I hope this works, right? So if it doesn't work, I'll blame my SA and say, hey, what happened here?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Can you go back 2 slides?
Yeah, we can go back 2 slides. Yeah.
The previous one.
One more.
One more.
Back.
One more.
I don't control it. It's in my magic hands.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take a picture. All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So while he takes a picture, I'm going to log in. Unfortunately, I'm not Luis. That is my SA. So he did share with me his username and password. He logged in. So again, I'm going to act like the SA today. And again, I am not trying to say all the reps should take the SA and SE jobs. Don't worry. You guys have your jobs. It's okay. But I'm going to log into our PDQA solution built on Qlik Sense, utilizing Qlik Answers today. So one thing we heard about and you guys saw with Qlik Answers is that 80% of structured data we can bring in and we can give you answers around that. Well, what about the unstructured data? What about your databases? What about your applications, your APIs? So what we did is we built an accelerator allowing that data to come in, but I don't want it to come into Qlik Answers without cleansing that data because it's going to give me a garbage response. So what you're seeing is Pingahla Data Quality Accelerator. So before I want that data to go to my Qlik Answers, I want to be able to profile it and cleanse that data and say, what's wrong with my data? So what I'm looking at, and you can see is, because I'm a sales guy, I'm looking at Salesforce data. I want to see my Salesforce data. How clean is it? Looking at the specific KPIs from the trust score. So what Pingahla did is we turbocharged the trust score within Qlik's talent, and we automated that to showcase in this dashboard. Now what it's telling me is that, hey, your Salesforce data has some problems. But hey, let's be honest with you. Any of you looked at this dashboard, this report, you're like, okay, I get it. I'm going to assign this to somebody else. They'll fix it. If they don't fix it, who cares, right? But let me ask it a question, right? I want to ask it some questions because it's integrated with Qlik AI. Now that I profile the data, I know there's a problem with it. I really want to now ask it questions to say, hey, let's get some information, and I'm going to wear different hats. I'm going to play like, you guys seen this Joker 2? It was horrible, I know, but I'm going to act like a different person, right? So I'm still going to wear my sales executive hat, right? I looked at the sales dashboard, right, and it showcased that there was some improper data. So if I went back to that dashboard, I see that there's completeness, it's not fully complete, there's accuracy, there's unique issues, there's a host of issues with my Salesforce data. Because why? I have a couple knucklehead reps that do not know how to enter their data in right, or they leave in old ops, which is what they do. But let's say I'm in Qlik Answers, I know I have a problem with my data, and I'm going to do this live, and let's say something I always ask, are on track to meet our quarterly, if I can spell, and sorry, I spell hunt and peck, and as you can see, my spelling is horrible. Not quality, but we'll see that quarterly, sales targets. All right, so I'm going to ask it a question, an executive question from my point of view is, hey, are we on track to meet our quarterly targets as well as my annual targets? And initially it's telling me, hey, reported sales figures look 5.2 million for the quarter, 18.3 for the year. So it's looking like, hey, you're going to meet your targets. It's telling me that so far it looks like, but what the revised figures, if you look at the response, it's now looking at my data quality and saying, I don't think you're going to hit your targets. Why? Because you have more data, right? The data is not unique, you have duplicates. So now that I've incorporated my data with PDQA from a data quality, I now have an actual real response saying, hey, don't look at that data because it's not right. Now that we see data quality issues, now we're going to say, hey, your real number is not, you're not going to really make your number. So then I need to push my reps to do better, right? So that's something that incorporating your data quality in your process is constantly important through the pipeline. But let's say I'm not my sales executive. I was speaking to a gentleman, Aswin, the Qlik Sense developer. He is not here. So he asked me, he's like, listen, Chris, I care about data quality, but all I care about is when I'm working on my reports, I leave all that ETL to the data engineers and the ETL guys. I could care less. I just want to know the reports that I'm working on, what's being affected, what I need to fix. So if I took off my sales executive hat and I said, all right, I want to be that BI engineer, the Qlik Sense developer, and I know my data is wrong, I want to say, maybe I want to ask you questions like how many reports are, sorry, it's really small here, affected with this data source. So, all right. So now I'm wearing my BI hat and saying, all right, how many reports are being affected by this? So ask when you wanted to know what's going wrong with the reports that you need to fix that have data quality issues. You can now ask Qlik Sense, hey, and Qlik answers what's wrong. So now it's telling me there are 21 reports being affected. So I know now as a BI engineer, what are the reports I need to look at? What are reports that may not be trusted? Going back to the business. Again, going back to trust is important. So again, turbocharging Qlik answers with PDQA allows you to get better insights, allows you to get back that trust in data. So I wanted to highlight and showcase this to you guys today because Qlik answers is a great investment that you all should be making as an organization, but you guys need to make the proper step at putting that trust first and adding that data quality, and PDQA turbocharges that. So I just wanted to highlight and showcase that to you before we get to the last thing. And I can ask it many more questions, but that's all I had, and I think I had one more last slide. For the folks that are here, that was the demo. If you're interested in learning more, if you want to try this out, please scan the QR code, work with your reps, it's something cool. I think you guys will get a lot of value because we know as organizations, you're using more than just your structured data, your flat files, your PDFs. And at the end of the day, do you really trust the data in your PDFs? I would still scrub those data to make it better. Oh, any questions? All right.
Yeah, so Qlik Answers is supposed to work mostly with unstructured data, right? Primarily. So what did you do to make it?
You want my secret sauce. So what we do is leveraging Talent. So what Talent is doing is bringing in data from your structured databases or your APIs. We're feeding that into our PDQA data model. And then without giving you too much of our secret sauce, we output that into a JSON specific format for Qlik answers. Really technical.
Thank you.
So, any questions? All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate being up on stage. Thank you guys.